Alex Rodriguez just made a billion-dollar investment here in the Dominican Republic. And today, I'm going to share with all of you what he did, where he's doing it, what it all means for you as an investor, just generally for the Dominican Republic. So if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Jamie Gruber. I moved here to the Dominican Republic back in 2022, and I share all about investing, living, doing a whole bunch of stuff down here. Today, I'm going to do a little something extra. I went out and got myself a piece of dulce de leche cheesecake. Once a week, I indulge, maybe twice a week, but once a week for this week so far. And I'm going to enjoy this a little bit as we go through. But let's talk about what happened with Alex Rodriguez. If you don't know already, I'm sure you do, Alex Rodriguez is of Dominican descent. He was, of course, one of the biggest names in baseball for years and years and years. Played for my Yankees, as well as the Rangers and the Mariners before that. And just yesterday, as I record this, it was announced alongside the Minister of Tourism, David Collado, that he will be spearheading and be the lead investor on a $1 billion project in a town called Rio San Juan. Now, what's interesting about Rio San Juan is it is a North Shore town. It's about an hour and a half away from the closest airport, which will be Puerto Plata, and it's next to a town called Cabrera, if you were to say it with a little Spanish on it, like I tried to. Getting better at the Spanish. But the interesting thing about that is that area has seen a lot of attention recently. And I visited that spot about 2 years ago. And I remember when I came back, I did some videos on it. I said, you got to look at Rio San Juan. That area is prime for growth, especially Playa Grande and the beach next to it, which name escapes me. And then, of course, Cabrera. Now, Cabrera, of course, is now known for the movie, was it Roadhouse? Not Roadhouse. It was a movie with Mark Wahlberg that he filmed, and then he ended up buying like a $7 million estate in Cabrera. And now you have A-Rod bringing $1 billion himself, as well as other investors, into Rio San Juan. This is really, really interesting. Playa Grande has a couple of things already. It has the Playa Grande golf course, and it has another resort there, another community. I'll have to look it up while we're talking, but I can't remember the name of it. Amanera, I think it is. That's already there. Granted, it's already there. But this project plans to really expand upon that and make it even bigger. So I'm going to look it up while we talk, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. You could drop it down in the comments if you know it already and say, Jamie, you're an idiot. Of course, it's Amanera, something like that. Let me see what it is. But anyway, this project plans to expand all of that. You're talking seaside villas, cliffside residences, overall 577 total units that will make their way into the Rio San Juan, Playa Grande area. Let's see what it's called here. I had it a moment ago. It is, we'll figure it out. Amanera? Let's see. Amanera, I was right. Amanera, and then the golf course is there as well. Let me take a bite here. This better be good, by the way. Look at this thing. It's $11, $11 for one slice. I'm gonna enjoy every bit of this. I don't know if I'll finish the whole thing, but we'll give it a shot. All right, so what does this mean? I reported out recently about what happens when a country like the Dominican Republic sort of, starts to clean out, low-cost labor by deporting Haitians, which has been a big push by the government recently, by kind of attracting certain types of clientele, international investment. I also talked about when the global market, the global economy is uncertain and people are feeling uncertain, money, big money, not guy making 150 grand, which is great money, but not that guy, but like A-Rod money, looks for safe havens for that capital, tax-friendly environments with upside and so on. But what happens, just like what happened in Dubai, when they sort of expelled their low-cost labor, like the Dominican Republic is doing now, lower-cost property wasn't as high in demand. The Dubai and now the Dominican Republic are going up market with what they're offering. In other words, they're catering to a higher-end, more luxury clientele. If you've never been to Rio San Juan, I mean, it's nowhere. It's a one-road town in and out. Gorgeous. They've got a laguna there. Somebody's got to remind me the name of it. It's like Gru or Gri. Laguna Grigri. I think that's what it is. It's beautiful. They got all the mangroves, the ocean, Playa Grande, and then the beach next to it. Somebody's got to tell me the name of that as well. Is beautiful. It's like a small version of the same beach. The whole area is amazing, but it is middle of nowhere. So to see that area getting an injection of capital and an investment like this is absolutely insane. And all it does is double down on other projects that are coming, which I'll explain after this bite. Oh, this is good. By the way, pro tip, when you go to Vale, they have the cakes out in their like thing. I always have a rule. I will never take a slice unless the cake has more than half of it left. Because I don't think if it sits there a couple of days, I don't think they change it out. This was like a complete pie. So this is a fresh piece, the first piece out of the pie, and boy, I can taste it. So when you look at other projects, up the road in Puerto Plata, there's a project called Punta Bergantin. Giant residential project. Grupo Punta Cana, which is literally where I'm sitting right now, they are part of that investment. They are part of that development. And Vin Diesel, Hollywood Vin Diesel, is building a state-of-the-art movie studio inside of Punta Bergantin, upmarket. When you look at what's happening in Cabo Rojo, down in the south, I can't remember the town, Pedernales or Barahona, I always get them confused. What is happening with Cabo Rojo, the airport, the development there, upmarket. Look what's going on in Punta Cana with, you've got the W Hotel, the first all-inclusive ever opening very soon. You've got the St. Regis that just opened inside of Cap Cana. You've got the Ritz-Carlton coming to Punta Cana Resort, all up market. And when you even look at Miches, which right now has nothing going on other than 4 places that were just built: Secrets, Dreams, a Hilton, and a Four Seasons, which is still being built. That'll be about a year and a half before it's done. But again, all of this indicates that it's up market. And when you bring in those sorts of places, you're only going to need to support the surrounding community with more luxury amenity. In other words, everything gets more expensive. Now that, of course, can be a bad thing for locals, and that's easily pointed out. And I don't love that. I just don't, that's not my channel. I talk about more like, hey, here's the opportunity without the emotion, right? Here's the opportunity, the investment, but I understand the emotion involved in seeing people maybe forced inland or forced out of their areas because it becomes too expensive. At the same time, all of these people coming in do bring jobs, so it's a bit of a catch-22. But the point is, when you look at this market as an investor only, as a Dominican American or whatever, and boy, diaspora is the majority investor here in the Dominican Republic. I mean, look at A-Rod. A-Rod's family is Dominican. He's Dominican, and he's investing back here, right? So diaspora is the main investor here. Dominican Americans, Dominican Canadians, Dominican Europeans that want to buy and own a piece of it, then they bring their gringo counterparts like me. That's an overwhelming story here. But when you look at that investment here, when you look at who's coming here and who's investing here, that luxury sector means that if you own real estate now, it's only going to drive up the value of that real estate over time. So part of the play here is, if you're looking at Rio San Juan, if you're looking at Cabrera, it might be pricey, but it ain't as pricey as it's going to be. There's tremendous upside there. I had a fun story about a guy that met me in an airport. I think it was Orlando. Let me finish this. This is good. I think it was Orlando. And in Orlando, I hear the guy go like, man, I know this guy. And he stops me. He's like, hey, you're the guy in Punta Cana that talks about investing in Dominican Republic, right? I said, yeah. We got to talking. He was a business owner in New Jersey, Dominican, from Santiago. He said, man, you talked, this was probably a year ago that I met him. He said at the time, you talked a year before, so 2 years ago now, about this town I'd never been to, Rio San Juan. I went up there, I fell in love with it, and I bought a property there. That dude, if you're out there, drop a comment, send me an email, something. That dude did well for himself. He got in stupid early, but it's still early. None of the development has started. You know, there's not as much demand for the land yet. It's only going to become more demand there as this project gets off the ground. So it's really fascinating to see what's happening up there and what the play is for all of you if you're looking to invest down here. A lot of people are saying, I'm waiting for a crash, I'm waiting for a correction. That's great. Here's something I would tell you. All of that is being fueled by the media, right? Coming recession, coming crash, and maybe they're right. They didn't call 2020, not broadly. They didn't call COVID and the downturn. They didn't call 2008, not broadly, like the Big Short people. Few people did, but broad media was not calling 08 when it happened. They didn't call the dot-com crisis in 2000 for those of us who have been around long enough. They didn't call that. Quite the opposite. They were talking about wow, look at the celebrity endorser in that .com bubble, right? And they weren't talking about the 1987, going way back now, savings and loan crisis. The media has predicted none of the last four big downturns. So what that means is when a downturn happens, and inevitably will, it's not likely the media is calling it. So whatever they're saying is going to happen is not likely to happen. In fact, it's probably the opposite. They've been calling for a recession for the last 5 years, from Trump 1 through Biden through Trump 2. It's all I've heard about for the last 5 years. I can go back and look at podcasts where I interviewed people in 2020, 2021, and we were talking about an upcoming recession. That never happened, fueled by media. So if you're thinking listening to media on whether or not it's the right time to invest down here, you might be waiting until it's just, you've lost all the upside. Doesn't mean if you invest today, there won't be a downturn tomorrow. But if you're here for the long term, you're investing in places where Alex Rodriguez and $1 billion is going, or in Punta Bergantin and Puerto Plata, or all the projects I mentioned here, what are coming up, Four Seasons, St. Regis, W Hotel, Ritz-Carlton. If you're investing alongside these folks, they'll experience a downturn. We all will at some point, but long-term, the upside is tremendous. This market is going luxury. Doesn't mean there is an opportunity for the budget investor, but the opportunity probably is get a quality project, which I can explain here in a second. And then once you have that quality project, allow appreciation and market cycles to ride the value up. Now, look, here's what I'll offer to you. Many of you say, well, I want to know what are good projects, what aren't good projects. I want to connect with people down there. I need to know what's happening down there before I just invest or even move or retire down there. And that's great. Because of that, I created something I call the DR Inner Circle. It is a monthly subscription community. We've already kicked it off, and it is epic. We're talking all about these things. People are sharing different experiences with one another inside our private Facebook group. We do weekly live Q&A with this guy. I don't eat cake on it, but I could. We do once a month expert Q&A. Right now, this month, we're doing one with my attorney. He's coming in. He's answering a slew of questions that we got from the Inner Circle. I release exclusive bonus content. And when I talk about topics like this, or I'll be talking soon about AI and how that may get rid of corruption in the country. I'll be talking soon about some projects in Punta Cana that are driving up values. But I can only tell you so much for a few reasons. One, I have inside information from knowing people here. Where do I share that? In the Inner Circle. I give them more detail. Anyway, it's $9 a month. Essentially, one less latte from Starbucks a month, and you can pay for your subscription to this incredible community. If you have any interest in investing in, or if you live here already, or if you're moving here, all of that, just click the link below and you can subscribe to the DR Inner Circle. We'd love to have you in there. So the play here, folks, is invest in something that you need, invest in something that you want, I should say, and know that it will ride up in appreciation over time. Doesn't mean that it will cash flow in the short term. If you're investing in certain areas, it might be more saturated. The infrastructure around it may not have caught up yet. So therefore, it's going to take time. But time always creates appreciation in the real estate market, especially when you're in a market like this one, which is just humming along right now. It's absolutely blowing up. So much development. We're not at a point of saturation in the Dominican Republic, no matter what anybody tells you. There's so many projects, so many areas that are growing. And it's not like, well, who's buying it? My neighbor's not. These people aren't. They can't afford this. A-Rod can. Vin Diesel can. Mark Wahlberg can. Does that make sense? Those are the folks that are not only bringing, we're not talking about like Mark Wahlberg bought a house, and so do all the people in Casa de Campo. But we're talking about bringing international capital here to build, like Vin Diesel is, like Alex Rodriguez is. High times. I've said it before if you follow my channel, we're in a window in the Dominican Republic where things can go way up or way down. They got to do it right. So far, they're playing it mostly right. There's definitely mistakes. There will be more mistakes. They'll miss opportunities. But overall, when you look at the possibilities here, for growth in the manufacturing sector, for the development and growth of a semiconductor industry, for what real estate is doing, for the number of expats and Dominican Americans repatriating down here, there's a ton of potential if you play your cards right. So that's what I say. That's the deal. A-Rod investing big on the North Shore of the Dominican Republic. It's huge, and you have an opportunity to get in. Listen, if you don't have a realtor and need one, down below, click the link. You can see a link down there that says like get a trusted realtor. Once we see all the information, we'll WhatsApp connect you to a realtor so that you can find the property of your dreams. If you need a lawyer, I have a link down below as well. Everything's down in the caption. Just take a look down there. I have a ton of resources for you if you're looking at investing or moving down to the Dominican Republic. Now, if you want more on due diligence, not a problem. I did this video right here, which will give you insights on the best type and the worst type of investments to make here in the Dominican Republic. So check that out. Otherwise, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one.